Mike Koval just revealed the production version of the Ram 1500. I guess Rev is the name. It's not just Ram 1500 EV. It's a Rev.
Ram Rev.
So
say it 5 times, Jamie.
Ram Rev. If I repeat it, it'll become that feel natural after.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep working on that. So 500 miles of range, up to 500, 350 on the base, 500 for the long, and then promises of an extended range beyond that. Why would people need more than 500 miles of range?
I think we want to make sure we think about our mantra, built to serve, right? We want to make sure we can serve, whether it's you're out daily driving to and from work or whether you've got a horse trailer behind you. We want to make sure we've got a solution for all our customers of today and for tomorrow. So that's why multiple battery packs for different customer lifestyles, and for sure.
So are we talking about an even bigger battery that could go 700, 800 miles?
I have to let Koval hold. I have to hold and let Koval share the details on that as much as I want to. But for sure, we've got some really great engineering work that's ready to be launched as well. That I think is going to be super exciting for the Ram customer.
Well, yeah, because the term like extended range reminds me of the old range extender idea of an onboard generator to charge the battery.
Yeah.
So it could be that.
Could be.
Among the engineering solutions.
Right.
So let me ask you another one about the Ram. You know, the other EV pickups, at least among the Detroit 3, have had this sort of two-pronged approach. A super high-end truck that's 6 figures and is loaded with everything they can think of, and then a more, I don't want to say modest price, but something closer to a well-equipped regular truck price. You guys seem to have a little different strategy, not so much two-pronged, but more together.
Yeah, I think if you look at where we are today, is probably a great predictor of where we will likely be in the future as well, where we've got DS Classic, we've got the DT, and then we've got the TRX, right? So we also cover a full range with today's ICE powertrains. As we look to tomorrow, right? This is the start of our entry into the BEVs, and I think you'll wind up seeing Koval coming forward with a full lineup very similar to what we have in today's world as well. So
I was so excited in January seeing the concept at CES. It had so many cool features to it, and here we are just 3 months later, and you've dashed all my hopes. There's no Roomba to charge itself. There's no, pass-through for giant pieces of wood. There's no follow me autonomous mode, or at least they weren't promised today. Are those things that we might still see in actual production?
No, absolutely. We'll see those in production over time, right? So the whole point was just to show all the things our engineering team is working on to bring into serial production. But step one is that comfort zone of today's customer and what people need in this transitionary period, which is, I love my Ram. I want to make sure that Ram looks like my Ram today with all the comforts, with all the features, with all the best-in-class tick the box. And so that was step one for us for that, while looking to that aspirational side of the Revolution concept.
So in general, how did you feel about first quarter sales, and what do you think about the year ahead? I mean, Stellantis and Toyota had kind of the two bummer results for the first quarter. Is that what was going on there?
Yeah, in terms of the we're not overly pleased with exactly where our share was. We were 2% point off of this time last year. Last year quarter one was absolutely outstanding for us at 12% versus the 10.1 we came in at. But we had this time last year, we had the old Grand Cherokee and the new Grand Cherokee running at the same time, so that was a big chunk of that, And then we've had a few of the stops that we've had to do in correcting a past recall issue on heavy duty. So those two things slowed us down a bit in quarter one comparatively. But what's great is we're ramping the 4xe version of Grand Cherokee, and that is really taking on with the market share. And so we're feeling very good about actually getting to the right level of share that we're going for. We're sitting at just right at 14%, I think, total on Grand Cherokee, and we want to get that above 15%. So, but in terms of our discipline for pricing, for profitability, for at the same time making sure we've got the right trim mixes in the marketplace for customers, We've done a little bit of adjusting on the trim mix with the inflationary times so that things are affordable for the customers.
Right. Yeah. It kind of stood out even in the press release. Jeff Comer talked about, making the necessary adjustments. Could that be, reducing production or increasing incentives, or is it more about a mix of trim levels?
Neither of those two things, right? That's just the normal course of business for us, right? Is we speed up or we slow down to make sure we're in the right window that we want to be in on inventory. But it's really looking to, as we come into a more inflationary environment, of looking at the affordability for folks with the change in the interest rates and so forth. So it is, we were a little bit heavy on the higher end of the trim mixes across some of the platforms. So we made sure that we're putting more to the entry and mid-level trim mixes in. So that's what Jeff meant by that adjustment.
And that's also consistent really with what J.D. Power was kind of suggesting. I didn't mean to put words in their mouth about blaming the Wagoneer, but that a lot of it was trim levels that were skewing to the high end, and we need to bring some more.
Yeah, because for the last couple of years, especially with the microchip shortages and so forth, most folks have been running on the higher trim. We obviously have as well, but pulsing what the customers are looking for. But we were probably 60 days. 60 days prior, we probably should have adjusted that mix a little bit more than we did. But had a very strong finish to March, so feeling good about it.
Okay, and you feel good about the second quarter and the rest of the year?
We are not feeling good. Okay. From an industry standpoint, industry still seems to be hanging in there, right? And from that standpoint, we're excited about our lineup of product and making sure that we're getting all that around the country with the right mix for the customers.
Well, you're optimistic you can get to make profitable EVs without needing some magic breakthrough like solid state batteries or anything like that?
So we have great governance on that. Every month we sit with Carlos and each of our teams around the world, and we're looking at what is the profitability of a battery electric platform compared to a plug-in hybrid, compared to a classic ICE. And what we've already demonstrated in Europe across the 20 plus models there is they are as profitable as the ICE powertrains in Europe. So that gives us a very, very good positive feel or peace of mind, if you will, that we'll be able to do the same on future platforms.
But the situation is a little different. I mean, at least it doesn't mean you feel like problem solved. We've won.
No, problem never solves. It's automotive where you always got to dig at it every year, every minute of every day of every year. It's how we're wired, right? It's, as an industry, that's it. It's about improving cost efficiency and everything that we do.
All right. Thank you so much, Mark.
Thank you.